Hello ladies and gentlemen, Phoenix or Nix here and welcome to Let's Play Age of Empires 3, the WarChiefs, Act 1, Fire. Where we left off last time, we just watched Nathaniel and Kayenke return from the little battle they had and find that their village had been burnt down and Nathaniel's mother, Nonakhee, had been kidnapped. So let's go straight into the first CGI cutscene, which is Kushla. Kushla, I believe. It is German, if I'm not mistaken. Nonakhee has been kidnapped. By my word, Nathaniel and Kayenke race to her rescue, hoping to discover the identity of her captors, which I'm guessing this guy is part of the captor side of things. And obviously you had Nonakhee on the left there. Do apologise for the coughing. Had to clear my throat. And they've definitely been captured, that's for sure.
Colonel Kuchler.
Colonel Kuchler. Here are the captives. Oh, they're German. Okay then. Surprise, surprise. What on earth are the Germans doing here in Native America? I have no idea. Excuse me, Kuchler. If I'll have you know that us British people, Englishmen, are pretty damn tough. Cannot believe you dare try and say that we're soft. Ah, disgraceful.
If your people get in my way, they die.
Now, why on earth are the Germans, Herr Kuchler, why on earth are they here? The woods of the rebels. Very interesting plot twist here. Seems to not be responding. That's great. If fluffed up there, the game didn't respond, and that's because of the mod that I've downloaded. For some reason, it makes the game not respond when it's loading. It's a weird thing, but it's worth it because the mod is awesome. But interesting why the Germans are here. Bit of a plot twist there. Not quite sure what they're doing here. I thought this was based around the old the Americans and the British and all of the natives in the middle of their little battle. So as you can see, we've started off here without any villagers. We can't build any villagers. All we can do is use these units to go and rescue some. So instead of sort of going and breaking these up into little groups, I'm just going to keep these guys as one big group for now. It's not really worth changing them around. However, what we are going to do is we will send these horses and we'll make them their own group, but we will send these horses around back. And the reason for that is just around here there are some German infantry which, as you can see, apparently my guides have already started off the battle, but there's some German infantry hiding here. So we're going to go and take them out. And for some reason this guy doesn't want to fight. I don't know why. But we have an assortment of things. We have some riflemen, we have some bowmen. Obviously we have our heroes. And oh dear, that's not good. The range attack. We can quickly take out this guy. Hopefully... Thank you, Mother Nature. I really do appreciate that. So if you've noticed, the mod has changed something with the trade routes. Now, trade routes never used to do that, but now apparently they do. If any of your units are standing on a trade route when the trade caravan or the carriage or the train, of course you have to level it up to be the carriage or the train, when they eventually arrive, if they're standing upon, when it eventually arrives on whatever piece of the track your units are standing on, villagers, military units, anything, it will kill them instantly. It's an insta-kill. It's an interesting addition. It's a little bit more realistic, I will agree. And I can understand why they put it in the mod, but it's a bit of a pain in the arse at the same time. So, not looking forward to seeing a lot of my units be killed. I guess it's common sense not to put them on there, but there are some parts... there's some parts on certain maps where it's kind of hard to... move yourself away from or avoid the trade route basically, but I'm going to have to work with that. It's a lot more realistic, adds a little bit of a difficulty element into it, also adds a kind of a positive, because if the enemy is standing upon the trade route and they get run over, then that's all the better, because that means less enemies to deal with. So we've saved our first 4 villagers here, so what we're going to do is we're going to have them basically gather all of these goodies here, which is food, gold and wood, and then we're going to send them straight onto the what's it, Majigger? The fire pit of death. No, if it was the fire pit of death, I probably wouldn't have put my villagers in there, but yep. And we're going to grab these musketeers in Colonial Marine. Not Colonial Marine, what bloody world talking about? Colonial Militia. That's another M word. And while they are coming from the hometown, we're going to go and send these guys over here because there are more villagers to take care of. Actually, before we do, let's take out this. The enemy are building units whilst we are doing this sort of thing, so not only do we get XP for taking all of these different buildings down, which is good because we can get more home cards, it also stops the enemy being able to build a certain amount of units. So actually, while we're waiting for our colonial marines and our house card, I believe we are getting XP. I believe we get XP for taking down these walls, so we are going to take these down. I do apologise if the volume is on the game is a little bit low or it's a little bit too high and you can't hear me properly. I have been trying to fiddle about and get the best setting, but it's kind of hard. The way Bandicam works is it basically records what you'd be hearing if you were wearing a pair of earphones, which I don't like whatsoever. I much prefer being able to sort of have a separate sort of recording and it not being not recording basically what my earphones are going to produce, because that's kind of annoying. It means I can't really listen to the game because I don't want to have the game volume too loud in my ears. It's a bit distracting. Oh, apologies, that's a little bit distracting having it as loud as it has to be. And yeah, I just don't enjoy it being that loud. So we're actually going to keep the Colonial Marines here for now, and the reason for that is a little later on they're going to send some units. Whoops. They're going to send some units over to my base, and I want to be prepared for that. Now, if you've oh dear, I keep doing that. That's very frustrating. If you notice, there's a boat there, but while the cannon is dealing with the boat, we're going to go and take out these infantry. Now, we shouldn't lose too many men. I could optimize myself. As you can see, I figured out the hotkeys, how to select different groups, but it's not worth optimizing on this map at all. You should just go full out with the units. It's not really worth optimizing, so I'm not going to bother. We're just going to get as many villagers as possible because we're all going to set them on the fire pit, and the reason for that is that they're going to give us a much better damage rate. What are you guys doing? Okay, yeah, that's good. Much better damage rate. This one we're going to use, but until we actually get to the main battle, we're going to probably use experience trickle because that is very handy. Now we want to protect the cannon. The cannon is probably the most important unit I have on this mission because it does a lot of damage. It's really good against all of the different types of units, even horses to a degree, but it also has a very long range. So. Especially against buildings, actually, it's a very good siege unit. So what we're going to do is take out these bears, and the reason for that is there's a courrier de bois right there, and I think that bear's going to take my horse out. He is, damn you. Not actually quite strong, not as strong as I thought they'd be. Now I'm getting the courrier de bois for one reason and one reason only. Once he becomes ours, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Any time now? Any time? No, not ours. Why not? Whoa. That was my fault for not paying attention. And I lost one of my units because it's great. Quick, courier de bois, get out of here. Let's take out these guys, and we have to build a trade route. This is a secondary objective, but one we are going to do because the experience is going to be very handy. And they're coming from all sides now, apparently. That's not good. Just sort of split our groups up. I'm not sure if you've noticed, but the horses... Well, the horses I did have, the horse units I did have were very good against infantry, whilst the tomahawks, which are here, these guys are good against cavalry, the archers are good against infantry, but in numbers, in strong numbers, they're quite good against horses as well. As with anything, if you have a lot of them, they do some damage. If they're optimized to take out whatever unit it is, it doesn't matter, they'll still do a lot of damage if there's quite a few of them. So I might as well take him out with the cannon. And we're going to go and take out the trade route first. We do have enough wood to build on there, luckily. So, and they're going to constantly send units over to us every time. Just these single units, which I find really odd. That's not very optimized, but oh well. And they keep trying to take little pot shots at the cannon, which I find kind of funny. Okay, now while you guys are taking out that, I'm going to get Nathaniel to build on there, and we're going to go for the cavalry, and the reason we're going for the cavalry here is because the cavalry are the stronger, in my opinion, the units that are going to win this for us quicker. And I'm still going to keep these guys here for protection, because eventually we are going to come across some very unfriendly characters in a little bit. So now that we've got our trade route up, we're going to put a trade. We're going to upgrade it to a trade wagon. Wagon? We're going to upgrade it to a trade wagon. Pardon my my splurged English there. And that means we're going to get XP a lot quicker. Instead of that little guy with his little horse, we're going to have like a big carriage running around, and that means it's going to get to us quicker, and we're going to get a lot more XP. And oh dear, the cannon is in danger. Hopefully it can defend itself while I take out these guys. Oh god, there's quite a few skirmishers over there. Now the difference between musketeers and skirmishers is range and damage. Skirmishers have a lot longer range but do less damage, so you can think of them as a sniper unit in a way. And musketeers have less range but do a lot more damage and have slightly more health, I believe. I think they're a bit stronger when it comes to the health side. See, 130. I don't think... where are my musketeers? And they have 172, so... The musketeers are more heavy units, but the skirmishers are long range, and that's very handy. It's actually quite handy to have a mixture of them both. Say 20 musketeers on the front line, and then you have 30 skirmishers behind them. And that's a pretty good group right there, because you have the musketeers absorbing all of the damage and distracting the enemies, distracting the enemy in front of them whilst doing quite a lot of damage themselves. And then you have the skirmishers behind, fully protected, constantly bombarding the enemy with long-range shots, so they're quite safe. And I'm not quite sure what's happening here. The mouse seems to be lagging a little. I had this issue just a little while ago, which is fairly irritating. We'll just have to deal with it. So we're going to keep getting XP for now, because it's much more efficient to get lots of XP from the trade route than to get any resources, because we can actually go and get resources ourselves, and we get much more anyway. It looks like we're going to have to engage these guys anyway. There's more villagers there, so it makes somewhat sense. And we need to change this to... I forgot to change this to war mode, which is what we need to do. That's my bad. No worries, we still have a fairly good amount of infantry to take out, at least this last one. And then I don't believe there are any more villagers after this. We're actually going to hit the main base. There's like little pikemen running away. These pikemen are a joke. The one thing I wish they'd have done is made archer units and such a little bit stronger in this game. But I feel like they're kind of ruined to a degree. Actually, I just realised that those towers are there, so what we're going to do is we're going to have these guys protect the cannon whilst the cannon takes down the towers. It might take a little bit of time, but the cannon is long range and it won't get harmed. Whereas if I send these guys close to the tower, what are you guys doing? They will be damaged pretty devastatingly, because those towers do quite a lot of damage to your units. So it's best to keep this guy back. Keep them all back while the cannon does its job. And as I predicted, the base is being attacked, so we'll put these guys in melee mode. It looks like that cannon did a lot of damage. I'm not quite sure if they took out all of the units. I know that they send a fair few units forward when they attack your base, so if they manage to kill them all, good on them. I'm actually quite surprised they managed to do that. They did, but it's quite surprising nonetheless. And then we're going to get a travois. Now, I remember saying in part 1 to you guys that basically the travois unit converts itself into a building, and we're going to build a marketplace because we're lacking resources right now, and I want to build an army of horses. So, come on, take down that outpost cannon. Take it down. Just that one. We're not going to bother with this one. This one can stay standing. And I believe we've averted most of the danger in the town now, the city centre, whatever you want to call it, but we'll still keep him. We'll still keep that small group there anyway. And then we want to get you to build a market around about there. Doesn't really matter where we put it. And we'll get the courier de bois to get some more wood. Quickly, right, run. We don't want you getting attacked by the tower, even though it is going to attack you. Not quite sure if you can see. It's not doing much damage to the villager, which I find quite hilarious, because it was doing multiple amounts of damage to our to our infantry just there. But oh well. And oh dear, the villagers have come across a horseman. That is really unfortunate for me. So better to sacrifice her and let the rest of them go. And he's given up. That's good. That's good. But we lost the villager doing that, which is quite frustrating. But oh well, oh well. What can you do? What can you do? The villager's dead now. So we've hit the enemy's main base. I wasn't really planning on coming up here just yet, but we might as well see how much damage we can do before they send in the big guns. Hopefully we can do a little bit of damage. There shouldn't be too many units around the outskirts. And now we can switch back to fidelity. And we can go and build... How many can we build? Not many. That's a shame. I was hoping for a little bit more there, but we'll use the marketplace to purchase a few more units. Now let's get rid of this stables, because those horses were driving me up the wall. Especially since they're good against our infantry. We don't want those infantry being taken down. Even though they probably won't build anymore for a while, but still. Yes, we'd like to buy some wood with our coin. This will let us buy another... Oh, I expected this to let us buy another 10, but apparently not. If we... Can we get... Yeah, there we go. That's good. That's good. It's good enough for me. If it's good enough for you... No, I'm not actually going to sing, but... And we'll get 4 villagers, and we're going to get 4 villagers so that we can put them straight onto that, and that will give us a full fire pit's worth of villagers there, which would be very handy when we actually get to the main meat and potatoes of this this section of the game, or this mission, whatever you like to call it, this part, when we actually go and attack the enemy full head on. Now I believe there's a miner right there, and he's actually... I don't think he can actually mine. Oh, he can. Gathers coin faster than any villager, and has a powerful ranged attack. So he's pretty invaluable. I think is the word I'm looking for. Was it valuable? I thought, he's a pretty damn good unit. He's one of the new units that mods adds in. So he's very effective because not only can he gather gold quicker than any villager can, but he also has a very powerful attack. So if he does come under attack by the enemy, he can defend himself. Unlike villagers, normal villagers like those ones, they can't really defend themselves. They have a terrible attack, and they do little to no damage. And I'm not quite sure why this is lagging. Could be the priority settings aren't correctly set on Age of Empires at the moment, which is a bugger. But oh well. Right, so let's get you guys on here, onto the fire pit. We have our horses. I don't believe we're going to get any more, so just switch to that. I'm going to send the horses straight up here, and we'll send the infantry as well, but the infantry probably aren't going to be able to do much. So while I'm not quite sure what's attacking the cannon at the moment, but something is doing damage to the cannon. Alright, no, I am not mistaken. Something is damaging the cannon, but I'm not quite sure what it is. Huh. Whoa, where are my horses going? This is the problem. If you don't set the path right for your AI infantry or military or something, they'll take the path that's the quickest, and the problem with that is they'll probably come across the enemy a number of times, and thus they die, which obviously we don't want. So there's a cannon over there, which I don't want to get anywhere near, but I do want to take it out, hopefully before this cannon dies. Now there are 2 cannons. This is the first one, but let's get him out of the way. It doesn't really matter how many units we've got left there, to be honest. As long as the horses survive, as they are the meat and potatoes of our army. And we're literally just going to send these guys in now. We're just going to send these guys in. Probably going to be a slaughter. I don't know if I'm actually going to win this bit, but here's hoping I do. We're going to have these guys focus on the cannon. We're going to send our horses in, and I'm going to want... Oh, we're going to want horses to immediately... I guess they can start taking out the horses as well. This is going to be a bloodbath. I don't think I have built enough horses to actually win this. As you can see, all of those 18s. And they also have doppelsounders. And doppelsounders are incredibly good against horses, if you haven't noticed. They also have an area attack, which basically means they do a lot of damage to multiple targets. However, to my surprise, my horses have actually done it. I am really surprised. I thought those doppelsounders were going to be the end. Of my units there, but they weren't. The doppelsounders or doppelsolders, I'm not sure how to pronounce it, are really strong German units. They are incredibly good against the French cuirassiers or gendarmes once they're completely upgraded. The Imperial gendarmes is a troll unit. If you ever I've never ever wanted to battle anyone online on this who plays France, who plays the French civilization, and the only reason for that is because of those gendarmes. Those horses are incredibly overpowered, and they can take down musketeers, Imperial redcoats, within seconds. You can only have 50 of them, and that's your entire army, but that's all you need. They're incredibly overpowered. But luckily, doppelsounders are really effective against gendarmes, and they can take gendarmes out quite easily. That's why usually, when I played online, I used to play with my friend, and we used to have... I used to be Germans, he used to be French, and it was usually a really good combination. We used to win quite a few battles doing that combination of civilizations. But anyway, that's part 2, everyone. We managed to save... what's her name? Nonakhee. I believe her name is Nonakhee. We managed to save her. Not the... I don't... That mission's a little bit weird, because you see Kushler send them all into the same pen, and then they're suddenly all scattered about the place, which I find kind of odd. But we managed to save Nonakhee. And we'll see the next cutscene in the next part. I think I'm going to end this here. I'm not sure if this was very short or not, but I hope you did enjoy this part 2 of Let's Play Age of Empires 3, the WarChiefs campaign. And I look forward to seeing you all in the next part. So until then, thank you for watching, everyone. Take care, have a lovely weekend or week, depending on what day it is for you and whenever you're watching this. And I look forward to seeing you all again. Until then, goodbye, take care, and see you later.